There's one risk factor that applies to almost every investment, and this is called counterparty risk. So counterparty risk is the risk that the other party in a financial transaction will fail to fulfill their obligations. But let me simplify it. Think about it this way. Whoever's on the other side of your asset managing its value is the counterparty and therefore the counterparty risk. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds all have counterparty risk. Before we apply it to these instruments, let's use a very simple example of an asset that everybody is familiar with, the almighty dollar. Now, it doesn't matter if you hold US dollars, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, or British pounds. I'm talking about paper money or fiat currency, which means government issued money. All comes with the same counterparty risk. So who is the counterparty risk in this case? It's the manager of that paper money, so the issuing government itself. Holding fiat currency carries inherent counterparty risk because its value is essentially a promise by the issuing government to maintain its worth. And sometimes governments break those promises. Let's dial it back here for a minute. The gold standard was a monetary system where a country's currency was directly linked to a specific quantity of gold. And this meant that the government could only issue or print as much paper money as its country had in its gold reserves. And under this system, paper money was essentially a promissory note. The government promised that the paper money could be exchanged for a set amount of gold at any time. The gold standard was intended to provide financial stability, to limit inflation, and to foster international trade, as currencies had fixed exchange rates based on their gold reserves. It's been used widely across empires for hundreds of years, including the Dutch Empire of the 17th century, the British Empire of the 19th century, and the American Empire of present day. But in every single case, the governments issuing these promissory notes broke their promise. So in the US, they closed their gold window in 1971 and declared that US dollars were no longer as good as gold. And instead, they were now as good as the economic stability of the United States. Now, this increases the counterparty risk as currencies are now backed by only the economic stability and creditworthiness of the issuing government rather than a tangible asset like gold. And this means that if a government faces financial instability, inflation, or debt problems, that fiat currency can lose significant value, thereby reducing its purchasing power. And we have all experienced this. Dollars buy less than they used to. Now, there's a myriad of factors influencing this, but a major one is that detaching the US dollar from gold has allowed the issuing governments to print more money, increasing the supply and decreasing its value. I'm Jay Martin, and this is the Commodity University. Get started today